Sorry, students. Today I am not going to explain the poem Daffodils by William Wordsworth. Okay, obviously it is not by Datta Academy, means presented to you by Datta Academy. Here, I am not going to explain the entire poem because there are so many explanation videos in YouTube platform explained beautifully by the English educators, and I hope you have understood the poem very well. But here, let me make you aware of one thing, that understanding the poem is one thing, while writing answers from that poem is quite a different thing. Therefore, today I have come up with an excellent idea to make videos on important questions and answers from all the text. Today, I have chosen the topic, the poem Daffodils. And here we are going to discuss 5 important questions and answers with you. But also let me tell you, the USP of today's video is that today I am going to share with you some important key points and some important key words and phrases you must use in your answer script, which will ensure full marks. If you want to score 100 out of 100 in English literature paper, then stay tuned. Okay. Before we get started, let me welcome you. Welcome my students to Datta Academy. Here you learn English like a pro and let your knowledge grow with me. So without wasting much time, let us get started. So this is the first question before you on screen. Question number 1, what does the poet encounter while wandering? Where does he encounter them and what are they doing? Okay, this is the first question, and here I have taken the first stanza of the poem. Here you see, I am here underlining it. Here you can see this one. Okay, it is written, I wandered lonely as a cloud that floats on high over hills and hills, when all at once I saw a crowd, a host of golden daffodils. So as the question was, what does the poet encounter while wandering? So when the poet Wordsworth himself was wandering by the bank of a lake, he witnessed a host of golden daffodils. You should quote this phrase, a host of golden daffodils, because most of the students will write he encountered daffodils. No, this is not the correct answer. You must use the exact words or phrases from the poem, from the text, then only you will be awarded full credit. A host of golden daffodils. Now, the next question was, where did he encounter them? Obviously, the answer is written here in the poem itself, beside the lake. You may also mention the name of this lake. The name of this lake is Pools Water. Let me write the name of this lake for you. Pools Water. And even if you don't write the name here, it doesn't matter. You just write beside the lake and beneath the trees. Okay, beside the lake and beneath the trees. Here, let me highlight it for you. Now, the next question is very much important. What are they doing at that time? Obviously, those daffodils, they are fluttering and dancing in the breeze. So there is the mild breeze blowing, and the daffodils, they are fluttering and dancing in that breeze. It also implies that daffodils are enjoying themselves. They are in happy mood, and that's why they are here dancing. So this can also be an example of personification. You may be asked to mention or to find out the figure of speech in the given line. Then you should write that this is an example of personification. Here, the daffodils are personified. Okay, because the daffodils are said to be dancing here in the bridge. Okay, now here I have written a note, and I have prepared a note, and here I am going to show you the answer. Okay, let me clear the drawings here. Here you may just read it. This is the answer using very embellished language, which will give you a credit. Because in writing the answer of literature, you must use good language. Okay. So here I am just reading it out. While he was strolling by the side of the lake, his attention was arrested by a host of golden daffodils. Here you notice I have here used in my note a host of golden daffodils within commas. Okay, within quotation. And here sheltering under the growing trees. They are sheltering under where? Now, they are sheltering under the growing trees and obviously beside the lake, because I have already mentioned in my note by the side of the lake, therefore I didn't repeat it. Now the next question, what were they doing? So they were fluttering and dancing. The exact word I have used here, and this is the key words or key phrases. Fluttering and dancing in the bridge, as if in order to get extra credit, please add the next clause, as if they were dancing like human beings, expressing their joy, their happiness, their energy. Okay, so in this way, you should frame your answer in order to get full marks. Okay, now hope you have understood it, which points you must use, which keywords you must use, and in which way you should frame an answer. Okay, now proceeding to the next question. Here on the screen, you can see our next question, question number 2. Very much important question. Actually, I have chosen only the 5 important questions. There are also 2-3 important questions, but in order to cut the video short, I have to compress it only into 5 questions. What does Wordsworth compare himself to, and why in the beginning lines? I wandered lonely as a cloud that floats on high over hills and hills. This is very much important. And here I am going to reveal to you the key points you must use here in writing the answer to this question. The first key point, which you have to understand, wandering lonely. Now, here I am going to explain these first 2 lines of the poem, because here you see the poet says that I am wandering, I am roaming around all alone. And here the poet says the piece of cloud, a wisp of cloud is also wandering alone in the sky. So here you can see this is an example of simile. What is simile? Simile is a comparison. So here a comparison, a direct comparison is drawn between the poet and the piece of cloud. Because both of them, the similarity in between them, that both of them are all alone. Okay, this is the first point. Now the second point is very much interesting. Number 1 is the point is here, aimless and directionless. So if you try to understand the thing, when a piece of cloud floats in the sky, for its speed and its direction, it completely depends on the blowing of the wind. So you can never say that the cloud is directed towards only this way. No, because if the wind changes its direction, the cloud will also change its path. So we can say a cloud is aimless, a cloud is directionless. So just like this, as the poet in the beginning said, I am just strolling around. It means that I am aimless, I am directionless. I have no particular destination to reach. I don't have a particular place to go to. Okay, therefore, this is the second point of similarity between the poet and the daffodils. Okay, now the next one, melancholia. Melancholia, this word means unhappiness. Okay, here both of them are unhappy because you try to understand the situation in this way. When you see a cloudy sky or when the sky is overcast with clouds, we feel unhappy. Our heart also gets heavy with sadness. That's why we can draw a conclusion from this. Here, the poet who is alone is also sad at his heart. Okay, so the third point, melancholia, is also important. Okay, so while writing the answer to this question, you must use these three points, key points. They are key points. Now you have understood how to write the answer, but here is a prepared note before you, which will help you a lot. I am just reading it out. Okay. The first two lines of the poem exhibit the present state of the poet. Wordsworth was just taking a stroll beside the lake Woolswater. Beside the lake Woolswater, and here it is written, he compares, this is important, here I am highlighting it for you. He compares his strolling to the floating of a solitary cloud high over the vales and hills, or hills and valleys. Within bracket, don't write it. Just remember, this is an example of simile. Wordsworth seems to be aimless and directionless as a cloud. This is the second point, which depends completely on the blowing wind for its speed and direction. Now, the second paragraph, he is comparing himself to the wandering cloud is suggestive of his melancholic mood, unhappy mood, sad mood. Because when sky is overcast with clouds, our mind becomes overshadowed with sadness. So, the first two lines sketches the poet's profound melancholia. Profound means very deep, and melancholia means unhappiness for being forlorn, means for being alone. Who is alone, sad, dejected. Okay, so this is the complete answer before you. If you write this answer in your answer script, you are surely be credited with full marks. Okay, this is my guarantee to you, and you yourself can understand. Okay, here let me clear the drawing first. Now the third question before us. This is also very much important question. What are the daffodils compared to, how are the daffodils compared to the stars here? So in the second stanza, you will get this answer as it is written, continuous as the stars that shine and twinkle on the Milky Way. Sometimes you may be asked the meaning of Milky Way. Milky Way means galaxy, where we can see the constellations of stars. So many stars that we can't count them. So continuous as the stars and that shine and twinkle on the Milky Way. So here the daffodils are compared to stars. This is another example of simile. Okay, you should keep it in your mind. Another example of simile here, daffodils are compared to stars. Now, whenever there is a comparison drawn, there must be a kind of similarity, or at least one similarity between these two dissimilar things. Now, what is the point of similarity in this comparison drawn between the daffodils and the stars? Though the answer lies in the very text itself, Here you can see I am going to highlight it for you. Continuous. Continuous, actually, this is related to this one, never ending line, stretched in never ending line. Stretched in never ending line. This is the first point of similarity because the daffodils grown there are numerous. You can't count them. So when the poet looks at the vast stretch of daffodils, there are so many daffodils, so many. He even can't count them. It appears just like the constellation of stars. Okay. And the second point, here it is written, the point of similarity, shine and twinkling. As you have read the rhyme, twinkle, twinkle, little stars. So here the daffodils are also twinkling like stars in the sky. Okay, let me show you the next slide for your better comprehension. Here it is. Oh, let me at first clear the drawings. The first point of similarity here is numerous. Here you see, this is the first point of similarity. And I have told you this one. The second point of similarity is luminous. Luminous is the adjective form of light. Light means, yeah, bright, shining, twinkling. So daffodils here were shining as here you see they were golden in color, because in the first stanza the poet mentions the daffodils or describes the daffodils as golden, though we know actually this is the color of the daffodils, the t-shirt I am wearing right now. So daffodils is of yellow color, but the poet, in order to give it enrichment, intentionally describes daffodils as golden. So obviously the daffodils here are as bright and shining as gold. Okay. Now here it is also written twinkling. Twinkling because the daffodils were fluttering in the breeze, and due to the reflection of the sunlight upon them, they are twinkling like the stars high above in the sky. Okay. So hope you got it. Now you may write another sentence as your understanding of this simile. This will give you extra credit. This is here written. What does this simile or comparison imply? Suggest. It actually suggests that daffodils are heavenly as the stars. Daffodils here are heavenly as the stars here, because we know that stars are heavenly bodies. So we can say here daffodils are as heavenly as the stars. Okay. Now the complete answer, the prepared answer for you in the next slide. Wait for it. You may take a pen and paper with you. You may jot all them down. Okay. I am just going to read it out how to prepare an answer. First, you begin with an introduction, just a very small or one-line introduction. Here you see. The second stanza describes the poet's amazement at the countless daffodils. They are compared to the stars. So here I have used the word amazement. Okay. So this is that the poet was completely amazed, completely flabbergasted by the countless daffodils. They stretched in a continuous line, just like the stars in a galaxy like the Milky Way. They seem to be as numerous and dense as the constellation of stars. Moreover, the daffodils were shining, and as they were golden in color and twinkling, you should write within bracket these things. They were fluttering in the breeze as the stars. This comparison with the stars may have a greater implication in indicating that the flowers are heavenly like the stars. Okay, this is a kind of conclusion to this question. Hope you got it. Now, question number 4. Let me clear the drawings. Give me an example of hyperbole from the poem. Hyperbole. Give your ears to me. This is not hyperbole because most of the students actually mispronounce the word hyperbole. No, no, no. You may Google it and check it out. The correct pronunciation of this word is hyperbole. Now, what is hyperbole? At first, let me explain it to you. Hyperbole means exaggeration. This is a kind of figure of speech and which means exaggeration. Means when you exaggerate the thing. Suppose when you make something out of nothing, and when you make something out of or you make a great thing out of something. So जो हम बोलते हैं ना, जो तिल को ताल कर देना, okay, to inflate the matter, to exaggerate the matter, this is called exaggeration or hyperbole. You may be asked to give an example of hyperbole or exaggeration from the poem Daffodils, and the answer is before you here. Here is the answer. In the second stanza itself, you will get the answer. The last two lines of the second stanza. 10,000 saw I at a glance, tossing their heads in sprightly dance. Sprightly means joyfully. The daffodils here are dancing very cheerfully, joyfully, sprightly. They are tossing their heads in the blowing breeze. And the poet said, whichever direction I cast a glance, I saw 10,000 daffodils. Obviously, he was not counting them. Then, actually, in order to create a visual impact, he intentionally exaggerated the thing so that we can understand that there are numberless or unnumbered daffodils. There are uncountable daffodils. So these are the three key points you must use here. As at first, you should write that this is an example of hyperbole or exaggeration. You may explain that or you may define the term, and then you must write that this actually refers to unnumbered daffodils, and this is to create visual impact here, visual effect. As I have written here the answer, you have to memorize these two lines and you have to exactly quote these two lines from the text in order to be awarded full marks. 10,000 saw I at a glance, tossing their heads in sprightly dance. Now you go on explaining it. When the poet cast a quick glance at the vast stretch of daffodils, at once he saw 10,000 daffodils waving their heads in the lively dance. This is an instance of hyperbole. Here, Wordsworth, the last paragraph here, as a conclusion, will give you extra credit. Here, Wordsworth makes an intentional exaggeration about the number of daffodils, only in order to create visual effect of unnumbered daffodils. Visual effect of unnumbered daffodils. Here I am going to highlight it once again. These two things are important here. Unnumbered daffodils and visual effect. Just go with it. Now the last question before you. Also, let me tell you, your question paper is set in this way that from a particular text, 5 questions will be set, but 4 questions, first 4 questions will be very much data based. Means just about or whether you have gone through the poem. This will be checked. The 5th question is very much vital because it is all about your understanding of the text. Okay, this 5th question is very, very important, and students often struggle to write the answer of these 5th questions, and their marks get deducted. The fifth question here, what wealth was brought to the poet by the daffodils? Or explain the transition from the poet's pensive mood to his heart filled with joy. The complete transition from the beginning to the end of the poem. How will you write it? Okay. Here it is. Okay. Just an important announcement. If you like my video the way I am teaching you, and the notes if you think are very much important for you, then for the notes of literature, you at first subscribe to this channel and then WhatsApp me at this number 8370921733. Okay, now proceed to the answer. Here is the fourth stanza, or the first two lines is actually first two lines are the last two lines of the third stanza, and therefore you will get the fourth stanza. And here from you will get your answer. Okay, I will show you the key points and the answer, but before you, I want to explain this particular stanza for you. Okay, this is very much important here. And here from, I will teach you everything about this question. Let me take the highlighter first. Here you see. I gazed and gazed. So the poet Wordsworth here saw the beautiful scenery, the host of golden daffodils, and he was completely enthralled. He was completely enchanted by the charming beauty of daffodils. Therefore, he gazed and gazed. It is repeated twice here. What is the meaning of the word gaze? Gaze means to look at something or somebody without taking your eyes off. It is so much beautiful that you are gazing at it. Now, the next phrase, but little thought, means at the time when I am gazing at the daffodils and enjoying the daffodils, at that time, little thought. Actually, some of the students got it wrong. At that time, the poet did not think at all. Let me tell you, little is a negative word. Because at the time, I was enjoying the beauty of daffodils and my thinking faculty was completely shut up. I did not think what well the show means the display of beauty, the display of beautiful daffodils to me had brought. Actually, let me tell you, this is a question by this practical society, by this practical world to such poetical, imaginative, sensitive, creative poets, that you are here enjoying the show of daffodils. Why don't you do any work and earn money in order to run your household? This is the question. Okay, so what wealth the show to me had brought. So this show or this display of beautiful daffodils had brought to me which kind of wealth? Obviously, he is talking in terms of material wealth. But the next stanza is a kind of tight slap on the face of society that material wealth is not everything in our life. In our life, what matters the most is internal happiness, joyfulness. You may be materially wealthy, but every day you may cry a lot all alone. Maybe so. Okay, here let us discuss the next stanza. It is actually an answer to the question, what wealth the soul to me had brought. For oft means for often, when on my couch is a kind of sofa, on my couch I lie in vacant or pensive mood. This is important. Suppose I am lying on my couch with no thought. Vacant means no thought or blank thought, or in pensive mood. Pensive means sad mood. Suppose I am just lying on my couch or sofa with no thought at all. or maybe I am very sad and lying on my couch. In both the cases, all of a sudden, they flash upon that inward eye. Flash, this word is also important. Just like the flash of lightning, the sight of daffodils comes across my mind. All of a sudden, I can see the daffodils here, but not with my physical eyes, but with inward eye. This phrase is also important. Inward eye means with the eye of imagination, I can see those golden daffodils, a host of golden daffodils, which is the bliss of solitude. If bliss of solitude means blessing. Bliss means blessing, and solitude means loneliness. Right now, I am very alone. Maybe I am sad, or maybe I have no thought, completely blank. At that time, this is my blessing. What is this blessing? The extreme ecstasy, the joyfulness, the happiness that I get when the host of golden daffodils comes across my mind. Okay, this is the idea. And this is what will this happiness, this joyfulness, this is actually the wealth, the blessing of solitude to me. And here you see, then my heart with pleasure fills and dances with the daffodils. Very much important. Here you see, dances with the daffodils. So if you recall the first stanza, there the poet said that the daffodils are fluttering and dancing, and the poet was only watching them. But here you see, in the last stanza, the poet starts dancing along with the daffodils. Such unification took place here. So very beautiful here. Then my heart with pleasure fills. My heart fills with joy, pleasure, and dances with the daffodils. You may be separately asked to explain inward eye, the bliss of solitude. You may be separately asked. And in my note, I have given you, there you will get all the answers. So hope you have understood this particular stanza. And here I am to at first clear the drawings. Here I am to show you the key words. The key words you must use here. Number one, vacant mood, pensive mood, inward eye, bliss of solitude, dances with the daffodils. You may say, sir, I may write vacant mood. Okay, I will write blank mood, no thought. I may write sad thought. No, I may write, sir, instead of bliss of solitude, I will write blessing of loneliness. No, my students, it will not work. Actually, the ICSE board wants you to exactly write the key words or phrases from the poem. Okay, so you please memorize them and use them in your answer script. So here I am going to give you the entire answer. You just read it out. The poets, sorry. What happened? The poet's encounter with the daffodils did not end here. Rather, it remained dormant, means inactive, in his subconscious mind. Whenever he relaxes on the couch, either in vacant or pensive mood, here you see, I have used here the keywords or phrases. Vacant or pensive mood, the daffodils all of a sudden like a flash. The word flash is used in the poem itself. So, like a flash of lightning, reappear in his mind and illuminate him, enlighten him. He feels elated at once. You may also write elated or ecstatic, ECSTATIC, very good word. Elated or ecstatic at once, as if his heart is dancing with daffodils, Okay. The recollection of memories while alone brings forth supreme happiness to him. Wordsworth calls it the bliss of solitude. So if you were separately asked To explain the term the bliss of solitude, you may take help of it. Now, the second paragraph to this question, Wordsworth acknowledges that one of the greatest blessings that solitude can offer is that old sweet memories can be easily and vividly revived. That makes us refreshed. At the beginning of the poem, he was lonely, sad, but by the end, he experiences the bliss of solitude, which makes him supremely happy. This ascertains the poets believe in the healing power. This is also important. The healing power of nature. Okay. Nature can heal any wound. Now, the next part of this answer, here it is. Let's clear the drawing. The bliss of solitude is the extreme happiness you feel when you are alone. That would mean enjoying the serenity and peace of being alone, though loneliness and solitude sound almost synonymous, but there is a wide difference in their denotation. I have quoted a line, loneliness expresses the pain of being alone, while solitude expresses the glory of being alone. Very beautifully explained the difference between loneliness and solitude. So loneliness is a negative, pessimistic word, while solitude is a positive and optimistic word. What wealth the soul to me had brought. Viewing the exhibition of magnificent daffodils, Wordsworth did not have any material gain or profit in this mundane world. The wealth which he amassed, means accumulated, is the happiness and the pleasant memory that he enjoyed for a long time since the day of his encounter with the daffodils. And I have wound up the answer with a beautiful quotation from a poem by John Keats. A thing of beauty is a joy forever. And this poem, Daffodils, proves the word by John Keats. Okay, so these are the 5 questions today I have discussed with you with all the key points and keywords which will help you immensely in writing your answer. Hope you have enjoyed it. Though there are some other 3 or 4 questions, but I can't discuss all of them here. Okay, otherwise it would be a very lengthy video. Hope you will be with me and you will watch my other videos too. Bye bye. Thank you. Tata.